How's it going, guys? So this is my LMT 11.5 inch HRT build. So the reason this gun is 11.5 inches is no accident. So 11.5 inches is a real sweet spot for short barreled rifles. It gives you a good amount of velocity while maintaining a very short package. So an 11.5 versus a 10.3 has roughly a 40% increase in dwell time. So that's going to do a couple different things for you. For one, that's going to give you a more reliable weapon. So you're not going to have as many issues with it. You're not going to be breaking parts as often. Now, for those who don't know, dwell time is the point in which a bullet passes the gas port before it actually exits the barrel. So my LMT has a bullet velocity roughly about 2,700 feet per second versus this Mark 18 here is putting out about 2,500 feet per second. Now, when you shorten a 5.56 below 11.5, you start to run into some issues. You start to have a drop in bullet velocity. So 5.56 really needs about 2,500 feet per second and above to work properly. So with a 10.3 inch barrel, once you start to get past 50, 100 yards, that bullet velocity starts to drop off very quickly. So you're going to start dipping below 2,500 feet per second pretty quick. Now with an 11.5, 200 yards is roughly when the bullet velocity starts to drop off, versus, like I said, a 10.3, you're going to be about 50, 100 yards. Now, that also depends on what kind of ammo you're using. There's a lot of ammunitions out there that do very well with short-barreled rifles. Like Mark 262, Mark 318 do very well in short guns. Now, that being said, with an 11.5, you can still shoot, 55 grain, 62 grain, M855 just fine out of them. It's just they're not going to perform as well as those specialty ammunitions. Now with an 11.5, it works very well in urban environments. So you can still reach out to 300 yards while the gun's still maneuverable. Once you get out to about 14.5, 16 inches, that gun starts to get longer. Now, if I want to, I can make this gun even shorter. So if I take the suppressor off, that's going to net me, 6-7 inches as far as overall length to this gun. So I think that, for urban environments, 11.5 is a really, really good choice. Now, in a urban environment, you may not want to draw a lot of attention to yourself. So that's another great reason why an 11.5 is a good choice. This is something you can work in and out of the vehicle with. You can, be maneuverable, and you're not going to have a huge package that draws a lot of attention. Now, the reason I chose a 11.5, you still have a lot of bullet velocity while having a very short package. So I'm going to roughly kind of go over this gun and show you kind of why I set it up the way I did. So up here at the top, this is a Surefire RC2. So with a short gun especially, you want to have some kind of a muzzle device. Having a suppressor is best. It mitigates the sound and flash. If you don't have access to one, having a flash hider works just fine. I just have a suppressor, so that's what I have on there. So this is a Mod Light OKW. So this is the far throw head. This is something you can reach out to 200-300 yards with. Right now I just have a simple Unity pressure pad on it. Now once I put some kind of a PEC or laser device on this gun, I might switch this up. But as of right now, this single button works great for me. I also have a T2 on a Unity tactical riser and a Unity tactical flip to center with a G45 mounted on it. So I really like having the G45 on there. Allows you to get good PID with the gun, and once you get past 100 yards, having a little bit of magnification to see what you're doing, works very, very well. Now, as far as the rails go, this is a Geisley Mark IV rail with a Samson machining grip on it. So I like this grip a lot. You can actually screw this thing off, and if you don't want to run a grip, you can just take this and put it in your pocket. So if you want to put it, in your dump pouch, if you don't want to get, hung up on something, that's pretty cool that you can take that off. A lot of grips out there, they have to be, removed with an Allen, or, you have to have some kind of screw to take them off. That one you can just pop right off, which is pretty cool. So as far as the barrel goes, this is a Colt 11.5 SOCOM profile barrel. So as barrels get hot, they do lose accuracy. So since this one is a little bit thicker, it allows you to maintain accuracy a lot longer. So back here behind the G45, for the charging handle, I have a Geisley government charging handle. So it has a little shelf in the back here. Since I have a suppressor, you tend to get a lot of gas back in the face. So what this little shelf does is it just kind of blocks some of it coming to your face. So it's more of a diverter. So those gases, tend to go more upwards versus, coming back and hitting you straight in the face. It also has a Geisley buffer tube and then a LMT Stop Mod stock on it. So this stock is okay. I really do like it. My only problem is when I go to shoulder this gun, sometimes it's hard to get a pretty good shoulder weld in there. So having something, more like a CTR stock might be something I switch to in the future. I also have a B5 grip on here as well. It has more kind of a straight profile to it. It's not as angled as, your traditional grips. So, it's kind of just personal preference. I do like that quite a bit though. As far as the trigger goes, this is a Geisley SSAX. So I really like it. It has a very crisp break to it, and I have zero complaints with it. So that's everything on the gun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think.